Today we're going to talk briefly, just briefly about Bitcoin, and then I really just want to talk about the channel and my future plans for it because I know that I haven't been publishing as often as I was earlier in the month. There was this little stretch here where I published a video every single day for 5 days in a row, and then I've sort of gone back to an irregular publishing schedule, and I'm only publishing a video once every 3 days or so. Want to talk a little bit about why I haven't been publishing videos as frequently, and then hopefully we can go through and talk about the future of the channel. Okay? But quickly, I wanted to start off with Bitcoin here. A lot of people are asking my opinion of Bitcoin now that it's all the way up at $9,900. It's all the way almost at 10,000. What are your thoughts? Especially because a lot of you are giving me crap over this last video where I said to scale back in Bitcoin or Ethereum. I want to note that I did not tell people to scale back in Bitcoin and Ethereum. I simply told them that that was what I am doing to reduce my risk as a result of the fact that I saw increased risk factors as a result of the Bitfinex Tether situation. Because in the event that that was to collapse, it would result in a fairly substantial decline in Bitcoin. I would say at least 30% decline. So that's the reason I reduced my position. People will continue to give me crap over it. That's fine. I have no issues about it. So just wanted to let everybody know that. And in terms of what I'm doing now, at the moment, I actually haven't sold any more Bitcoin. I've thought about it. Okay, I've thought about it. And I've chosen not to sell any Bitcoin. And I have decided to employ a strategy that I generally do not like employing. However, I do see there being a chance if something were to happen, some sort of catalyst, we might see Bitcoin go down fairly substantially. Anytime that Bitcoin appreciates this quickly, you have to be ready for a fairly strong reversal. I'm not sure if it will happen or not, but essentially what I have chosen to do is I've decided to use a stop order. And I generally don't use stop orders. I prefer mental stops rather than actual stop orders. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with what a stop order is, it's essentially placing a sell order below the market, but it will not execute until the price goes down to that level, right? So if you put a stop order at $9,500, then the order will not execute until Bitcoin's price goes down to 9,500. And actually, the price is a trigger. And then you can do one of two things. You can either set a limit order once that price is hit. So if you say the trigger is 9,500, and the second it hits that, a limit order is set to sell it at, say, 9,501 or something along those lines. You could do that, or you can make it be a market order. And in the case of stops, what I would recommend doing is I would recommend putting a limit order below your stop price, so it will still behave like a market order, but it will limit your slippage. Slippage is essentially what happens where when you place a market order in, let's say Bitcoin's in free fall and it goes down below 9,500, but all of a sudden, maybe in like a split second, it goes down to like 9,300 and then it bounces back up. Well, your market order is going to execute at 9,300. It's going to execute at whatever the soonest available price is. And if for whatever reason Bitcoin jumped down $200, I don't know if you guys have seen when there's disconnected candles, essentially where you go from like this candle, well, actually it wouldn't happen on the 1 day candles, but if we go to like 1 minute candles here, unfortunately it's not showing here either, but there are situations where essentially, there's a gap between two candles. You want to avoid slippage of that nature. So what you can do is you can limit slippage. It also reduces your probability of it filling, but it also, in my opinion, it's more important to limit the slippage. I would put a limit order, say, roughly $100 below the market, below whatever your stop order is, okay? So my stop order at the moment, I'm considering moving it up. It's currently at $8,700. I had decided to put it at that level because I figured, you know what? We've seen multiple situations where Bitcoin's price has briefly dipped below the $8,000 level when it was trading in that range, and then it bounced right back up. You can see that here, right? It comes down to 7,900, then bounced back up over 8,000. And we also saw a similar situation with when it bounced over 9,000. I did not intend to say that, but it just sort of happened. And then it came back down below 9,000 and bounced back up. So I just wanted to give ample room for, in the event that we saw this move down below 9,000 and then came back above it, I didn't want to get whipsawed out of my position. So I currently have a stop order at 8,700, gave it plenty of room. I'm actually going to move that stop order up now that Bitcoin's price is all the way this high. Unfortunately, I don't believe GDAX offers trailing stops, otherwise I might use that. I've never been a fan of trailing stops because they really, with very volatile instruments like Bitcoin, you can get whipsawed out of your position fairly easily. So trailing stops are not something I'm in love with. You could use that as well if that is an option on the exchange that you're using. I do not believe that GDAX offers that functionality at this time, and I don't actually need it, so I haven't really tried to figure out if it's possible, but I'm going to be moving up my stop order to roughly, I think, maybe like slightly undercut on $9,000, somewhere in the ballpark of, 8,950 or 8,999, because there's always that ton of support at the $9,000 level. So I will place my order slightly below that in the hopes that it bounces back up. In the event that it doesn't, my order will fill, and I will pay a slight commission as a result of the fact that it will in fact be a market order, even though I'm actually going to use a limit order to reduce my slippage. I hope that made sense. The point is, I do have a stop order in place. I'm not selling any of my Bitcoin unless that stop order gets triggered, or maybe if we see the price go above 10,000, I might start considering selling around that point, because this growth has truly been, I don't want to use the word parabolic when I don't mean it in the mathematical sense, but that's what it's felt like. So anyway, those are my opinions on Bitcoin. I really didn't intend for the video to go that long talking about it. Let's get into the channel update very briefly here. I'm going to be publishing more content for this channel very shortly. At some point in December, I'm going to start publishing a ton more articles and a ton more videos. If you haven't followed my Twitter yet, please do so at Truth Investor. I'm trying to build a larger and larger Twitter community. I know it's not the best platform. I can tell you that I've always been pissed off when companies or individuals use Twitter more frequently than they use their main platform. However, it's just easy for me to make small little updates here, and this is the update that is probably relevant to most of you, which is I'm working on several articles and I plan on publishing them starting in December. And the long-term plan here, I finally have decided to take YouTube fairly seriously, and generally all of my social media I'm starting to want to take more seriously. I'm going to try to publish a video every single day for 6 months. Now, it's not going to be exactly every single day. I'll probably take one day off a week, and I'll try to do my best. If I have no ideas, I'm not going to try to record a video, but the general idea here is to try to get as much content out as possible in 6 months. Now, the reason I want to do this is because YouTube rewards content creators that are able to upload videos within 24 hours of their previous video. If you're able to do that, the YouTube algorithm is very happy with that, and they consider you to be an active YouTuber. They start promoting your content a little bit more. I'm also going to start writing a ton more for some of my other platforms. So if you're not aware, I actually write on a number of different websites. Seeking Alpha is a platform that many of you are aware of that I currently write for. I've written for them for the past year. Obviously, I initially started off talking about stocks, but since then I have transitioned over to cryptocurrencies, mostly because it's such an interesting field. But of course, stocks are my background. So if you're ever curious, you can actually read through some of these. I would recommend only reading the ones that are called editor's picks, because those tend to be the ones that are a little bit better, of course. But anyway, the point of all of this is to say I will be publishing more on Seeking Alpha. If you don't want to sign up for Seeking Alpha, because unfortunately you do need to create an account to view articles on this website, it's a completely free process, but it is sort of a pain. I will also be publishing on Medium, and arguably this might be the more important platform. It's the one a lot of people actually check out when it comes to cryptocurrency articles, and analysis. I actually think Medium is one of the most underestimated sites in terms of information when it comes to cryptocurrencies. And I might actually make a video about that in the future, but I will start publishing a lot more frequently on Medium. So if you want to follow me on there, you can do that as well. Again, it's the same thing as my Twitter handle, so at Truth Investor, at Truth_Investor. So I hope you guys follow me on some of those other social media platforms. I'm going to start publishing a lot more starting sometime in December. I haven't decided exactly when yet. It depends on when I feel that I have adequate content to start publishing on a regular basis. And we'll see how far we can grow YouTube, because I actually think there's a lot of potential here. And I want to start really trying to create a very large platform for discussion of cryptocurrencies, investing in them, trading them, and also a little bit about maybe the politics, because let's be honest here, it is fairly interesting, right? But don't get worried. The principal focus of the channel will always be based on investing. So if we talk about the politics, it will always be in the context of investing and trading. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As usual, if you would like to support me, there are some Amazon affiliate links in the description. If you make an order within the next 24 hours, I will receive a small commission, even if it's not for the item that I linked for. So check those out if you're interested. Otherwise, leave a like, comment, and subscription, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching.